Welcome to my channel Stash the Cash. My name's Mrs. Lex, checking in today. I'd like to say to anyone new tuning in, welcome to the Stash and Save crew family. Today's topic entails the envelope challenge my way, and today I will be demonstrating on how this method is used to curb my spending habits. As you can see, I have this visual on the table. But before I say anything moving forward, I want to say to any new subscribers that have tuned in or subscribed, thank you for doing so. I believe that we're going to hit milestones together. It can be done and it will be done. You know, all you have to do is try, and that's all it takes. A bit of effort. So moving forward on the table, this is the envelope challenge my way, and it is a method that I have used to curb my spending habits. And how I do this is when I have any funds left in my bank account, instead of leaving it there, I actually slot those amounts in envelopes and try to keep them for 1 month. This is not a challenge that you are under duress, you can't touch it. You have these envelopes, they're in your care, and you are able to pull from them, should there be a need to do so. Obviously, it's got to be a sensible need. It's not gonna, you know, for me, it's not gonna be like utilities and food, because obviously you would have budgeted for those things. But, you know, it's to deal with like a crisis or emergency. That is what it's all about. Even though one might say, well, you know, if you have a couple of £100, you could easily leave it in your bank account. Yes, I agree with you. You can do so. But for me personally, when I leave a couple of £100 in my bank account and I have my debit card, I can be quite a rebel with it, because you're tapping, and before you know it, you've spent a couple of £100 on half of the things are not even necessary. Because you have a card, you just pull for it. So that is how the envelope challenge my way evolved, and I tried and tested this method in 2023, and it helped me a lot to save and also, you know, just keep significant funds and be very mindful on how I would be spending, you know, funds just left there. You know, I think that sometimes when something is out of sight, it is out of mind, because, you know, you're out and about and, you know, well, I don't have any funds in my bank account. You know, I'm not going to go into overdraft. You have your envelopes slotted at home, and that is where they will be until there is a specific reason to pull for one or two. Keeping it real. So I want to reflect on my last round of envelopes. Obviously, a new month has just rolled over. We are in June, and as you can see, I only have one and the two behind. These 3 envelopes on the table. It was actually 4, but obviously I pulled for 1 envelope and obviously a bit more, so hence I only have 3. But before I move forward in regards to slotting my new round of envelopes, I actually want to take out the funds and show it to you, just keeping it real, and show you some evidence that, you know, what I am doing and what I am saying, you know, it is not staged, it is very real, keeping it real. And everything I do on the channel, it has been tried and tested. And because it has been tried and tested and it works, and, you know, you can get from A to B with very little hiccups, because organisation equals progress. That is why I like to talk about these things and share it with others, because I think that knowledge and skills equals empowerment, and that's my take on it. So I have these 3 envelopes. I'll just move that to the left. And these are my envelopes from May, because we are now in the month of June. So I'm going to open them up and just, this is my envelope. So in this one I have 100. In this one I have 40. I'll just leave that there. And in the yellow envelope, I have another 100. So that is 240 from the previous month. Even though one might say, well, you know, 240 is not a big deal. Like I always say on the channel, £240 set aside is better than no 140 set aside, keeping it real. So these are my 3 envelopes from the previous month. So I'll just put them to the back. I'll leave that one side. And I just want to, I'll just move that to the side. I just want to show you some evidence. I've got my, obviously my new envelopes slot. And I just want to show you some evidence, keeping it real. So I like to track things in my budget binder, because when you track things, you're able to see what you're up to, and it's visual, and you know, you can identify and remedy any situation quickly and easily. As you can see, it's the envelope challenge here. That's when I started it. The first 2 months, I was only able to keep 200, it's highlighted. The second 2 months, it's 4. And then this was my last month. I put away 404 envelopes and I have 240, and that is what I've just shown you on the table. We are now in June, so obviously we're halfway through. And the envelopes that I'm about to slot, I aim to keep them for another month, and hopefully I won't have to pull any. This is my June funds, and I'm going to slot them. And as you have just seen, the 240 here, so we're very, very clear about what is on the table. So I have my envelope here and I have my funds. It should be 400. Oh yeah, this envelope is the one with 40. I'll just check. I'm going to keep that to the front. That one there. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we go. That's 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 200. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 300. And my last amount, here we go. There, that's my final amount, and that is 400. So I have slotted 4 envelopes today, and I had 240 from the previous month. So this is the envelope challenge my way. So these are the envelopes. So 400 pounds and 240 is equal to 640. These are the funds here, and I aim to keep them for another month. And that would be 6 months into doing this method, the envelope challenge my way, halfway through the year. So, you know, I had a question a while ago from somebody who knows me, and they said, oh, you know, do you actually save the funds from the envelope challenge? And I explained to the person that the envelope challenge is a method or strategy I use to curb my spending habits. Even so, you could, because you are curbing something, it means you are remedying or retaining funds. So you could use these funds to put it towards something if you were saving to do so. But what I noticed with me keeping it real, a lot of the times I would be able to keep these funds, and then, you know, we have crazy energy prices, so therefore I'm pulling 1 or 2 envelopes. You know, obviously it's the spring now and summer's approaching, so, but in hindsight, it's always good to have some kind of strategy or mechanism to keep you financially organized, you know. And one might be thinking to themselves, you know, I can do it another way or online, and, you know, any way is progress. But I just want to show you the different strategies on Stash the Cash, and I want to keep it real. And I am a lady that is a rebel with a debit card, a rebel with a credit card. And this works very well for me because it eliminates all of that unnecessary spending and chaos. So that is what the envelope challenge entails. I've told you how it works. I've just demonstrated slotting and why I think it's a good challenge to do, you know, keeping it real. So that's it really. I hope that it may be helpful to anyone watching. And also I slot 4 envelopes a month with £400 because I am able to do so. If I had less funds, I would slot less. But in life, you have to work with the funds that you have, you know. I don't think that because you can slot less, you're any worse off than the person can slot more. Just because a person slots more, it doesn't mean that they have more. Maybe they have higher expenses, we don't know, you know, such as life. So that's it really. It's just a simple demonstration, and I just wanted to share that with anyone that is watching, you know, that in life there is always a way to move forward, you know, big or small, coin or notes, keeping it real. So I'd like to say to anyone watching, remember, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Pennies make pounds and pounds have use. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I'd like you to please subscribe, share and comment. Most important, knowledge and skills equals empowerment. Try a challenge, I think you should, and become a part of the Stash and Save Crew family. Take care of yourself and see you soon. Blessings.